Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2. Manchester United fans are just excited. Before the game, I know that a lot of United fans were low on confidence, but Ruben Amorim decided to shock everybody. Beautiful tactics, as usual. So, what do you have to say about the game, Dan? Like me, I'm
First
I'm
off,
excited.
first off, first off, I was confident. Even last night when I was having a chat with Moses Gajeri and a couple other friends, I said going in, I was so confident. I was like, I'm so confident for United result. However, a 2-2 draw. For me, my prediction here was a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
And what I actually thought that I was going to see was exactly what I saw. I knew Manchester United was going there with a low block, not even a mid block. And I knew we were going to start the game because I had listened to Ruben, um, listened to his pre-match, and then I knew we were going to start like faster than Liverpool even thought. And then I looked at the game. I had to rewatch. In fact, I rewatched 90 minutes twice at work. The match we had last season, the 2-2 draw. I
Yeah.
looked at it, I was like, nah, there's nothing in this team. You remember last season we were saying it that Liverpool was just, for me, they were not decent. Like they just had a lucky season where every other team that
Was
ought
bad.
to have been a competition. You get what I mean? We're not like up to par. So going into the game, to be honest, like I was confident Manchester United was going to come out worst case scenario with just a point. But then the start we had, to be honest,
Mm.
I knew we were going to start on the front foot, but
No, but you know it's
I
always like
never.
that under Ruben Amorim now. First 15 minutes,
No,
Manchester
yeah,
United
I,
the
I knew
first
I
15
knew we
minutes.
were going to start on the front foot,
Mm.
but I never thought like we were going to get the goal. But I knew that Liverpool's back four was there for the taking, to be honest. Like, you remember last season, we had the debate with a couple of people where we said the Manchester United backline was stable, that our problem was in the middle of the park and then goals. Remember what we said that Manchester United really can go a season without investing in the backline. Remember, we were saying to a lot of people, but like we have a decent, as long as Maguire is fit and Lenny Euro is fit and Dele Blind, as I said, Dele Blind, sorry, Matthias
Delete.
Delict
Yeah.
is fit. Yeah, to be honest, like we have one of the decent central, defensive positions as long as defensive back positions as long as in English Premier League is concerned from last season come on to now. And I've seen the way, to be honest, like I have not really been, the Ruben out guy. I've just been saying his ability to adapt in game to sort of like tweak, see things and then maybe tweak it just to get at the result. But looking at the games, the way we started, Arsenal played well, lost it, and then we went on, and then the Division 4 team that went on lose, and I looked at these games. To be honest, Manchester United haven't played poorly this season. To be honest, we've been better. And I was looking at a lot of the statistics, all the SGs. We're second on the SGs. Chances created, we're second, just only behind Liverpool from open plays. So like there's quite a lot of things to give us hope. Yeah, we understand that we don't have legs in the middle of the park to play the kind of football that Ruben wants us to play. You get what I mean? So I knew Kobe was not going to start this game. I knew he wasn't going to start Kobe because Kobe sort of like slowed our game down. So I knew Kobe was going to come in for the last maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, of the game. But to be honest, I was very excited. I was confident. I knew Liverpool was there for the taking. I've been watching. Remember, we had the talk a couple of weeks just before the international break where we were talking about like Liverpool, how they've been able to manage to grind out results. I think of their three wins. I think three of their wins had to be very, very late, somewhere in the eights. Is it three or four of their wins this season so far? Even I guess Atletico Madrid, I think, in the Champions League had to like come almost like with the last kick of of,
Last
of
minute
the
header.
game. Yeah, they've struggled all season. Yeah, created chances, but they've not really buried it, and they've not really been a sharp team. Even from last season, they've not really been an excellent team from last season. They were just a decent enough team. So for me, there was no other time to take Liverpool than today. It was Liverpool was there for the taking, to be honest, and I'm very
Well,
glad that we went
let's
in there and we got the result.
let's talk about the first goal. You know
Yeah.
the law of the game is that once there's a head injury, you are supposed to stop the game. They hit this guy on the head,
Um.
and the referee didn't stop the game.
So you may want to call me biased, yeah, but to be honest, first off, these referees are humans, one, and this thing happened. It was like just immediately. And I want to defend the referee because obviously where he was standing was in a very good position where he saw it. And I thought that was what he saw. He saw that the elbow was on, oh, sorry, was from, what's it called, Virgil van Dijk. So maybe he didn't know that, there was no way he could have, like, on the spot, be able to determine that it was that, much of an injury that was
But the
inflicted
law is
by.
the law now. Head contact now. The law is the law
See,
now.
look, Manchester United was on the attack. I understand it's a head injury and all that stuff, but a lot of times, even in this season, you're still going to see it. Where head injuries, we are not like the games don't get stopped instantaneously. No, you're going to see it happen. Maybe even tomorrow, or later on, so at some point in the season, it's not like the game just stops immediately. No, it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes it goes like 15, 10 seconds, sometimes 20 seconds before the ref, blasts his whistle and then halts the game and then calls out to the medical team to come, check on the guy or the guys who probably have been in a head collision or whatever the case may be. So to be honest, like, I'm going to have to cut the referee a slack. You may want to call me biased, obviously, because I'm a United fan and you are saying like, oh, because it benefited me today. So I think
United fans always complain about.
Yeah, I'm trying to justify, whatever the decision is. But to be honest, like, there was no way, like, in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and everything happened split seconds. So, like, Virgil van Dijk had, okay, let's say whatever, but he was on the floor. Brian Mbamo was on the floor. Brian Mbamo picked up himself. Virgil picked up himself. They both were dashing towards the Liverpool. Look, Virgil literally. I don't know why. Like, if he had seriously attempted to defend that ball, there was no way Brian Mbama would have been able to get the ball because like he was already pointing at Konate. The usual thing he used to do, he loves setting up his defensive partners for failure. He was already you were 35 yards away and you are calling out for nigga, run, finish off the dash. Put your body on Brian, make it difficult for Brian. Even if Brian Bamo eventually gets to score the goal, but like make it difficult. From 35 yards away, you're already calling out for Konate, who already was, I think, Cunha and Bruno.
Yeah, Konate was trying to mark Cunha.
Yeah, they were there on him. Like, that was the same way he damaged Dejan Lovren's career. Everybody was calling him Rolls Royce of backline, whatever. Crap. From last season, he's been messing up. He's been showing. I think the older he's getting, everybody's been finding him out. That's what he's always been doing, setting up his defensive partners for failure. Why he comes, just sit back and clears the football, and they go telling, that he's the Rio Ferdinand and blah 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 and stuff like that. To be honest, like, yes, whatever, the referee maybe didn't call the game, but let's act. What happened after that? Where was Virgil van Dijk? He's the captain. He's been the one that be chatting a lot, crying all season long. He's been crying. Last season, when they were winning games, sometimes games they didn't deserve. Even this season, the game against Bournemouth, they don't deserve the win. They got it. What did he say? He didn't say nothing. So, look, Liverpool, to be honest, I don't know what happens with their players and their managers. They cry a lot. You lost at Anfield. You had chances. Cody Gabo came close 3 times before he got the goal, hitting the goal post, and then he had another chance almost before, almost the last kick of the game, the header thing that should have even made the game 2-2. So you had your chances. You never took your chances. Mohamed Salah had his chance, didn't take it. Ishak had his chance 1v1, didn't take it. All these things happened after the head collision. So to be honest, like, crying for me, I'm not going to take it like from any Liverpool fan or Liverpool player, and I like fair play to Anslot. Anslot, came out clearly with hands held high, and he was like, there was no way. Yeah, the foul happened, but obviously they still had over 90 minutes to play because it was just the first minute of the game. So what are you saying? So to be honest, like, look. As far as I'm concerned, Liverpool is there for the taking, and I will not be surprised if they go on next weekend and lose their game. Even in the Champions League this midweek, if they go on to probably even lose or even maybe end in a draw, I'm not going to be surprised. Liverpool is there for the taking. The way they have been playing so far this season, they've not been excellent. Mohamed Salah, all of us know, he's never been the guy to come into the middle of the park or go, down the low block, pick up the ball, play those short passes, build up and whatever. He's always been the guy who stays there and he gets those long diagonals from either the centre backs, the centre mids, or the amazing Alexander Arnold. So there's a lot that's been sort of like, these are dynamics that were partnerships rather that were built, that lasted way over 6-7 years, and all of a sudden it's been split apart and it's not working out for them. So like a lot of things, and for me, Liverpool has to fix their mess. It's their mess. They have to fix their mess and not, be looking at whatever the ref decision or whatever. Manchester United also came close a couple of times, would have even made the game 2-0 even before it became 1-1. In the first half, Manchester United would have gone on and finished the first half.
Bruno miss.
Your Bruno's
So
miss and that.
finally, I want to ask one question before we go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this guy, Lamens. His save.
Alright. I can't lie to you, bro. Yeah. It's just his second game, but bro, just imagine the first game.
That's that presence.
He came out.
That's that presence.
Imagine his first game. He came out to clean up an aerial duel, an aerial ball rather, and you saw Manchester United fan cheering, bro. Do you know the relief? It's been long. Do you know what would have happened if it were to be the guy in the Afro Punk? I'm talking. What's it called? Andrew Onana. He would have been on his post and then done header, whatever, and it's a goal. Do you know what would have happened if it was the other guy? He would have just gone on and spilled the ball. Can you see clean takes? Do you see the way he hugs his ball even today? Do you know the way he takes in those shots and he swallows them? Go and watch his practice. I've been following him closely, but he's gonna have his days. Obviously, goalkeepers are gonna have his off days. But I'm saying, yeah, he's got the aura, he's got the presence. See what he's made. Look, imagine after his debut, yeah, you saw the way his central defenders came out, and that's that thing we've been saying. There is the confidence the goalkeeper brings to his central defensive line. When they know that they have an amazing shot stopper behind, they can go ahead and be confident to go into duels and whatever, because they know that whatever happens 50-50, there's a huge chance that the guy behind them is going to make a save. Bro, it's been 2 calendar years without we having such an experience as Manchester United fans, or such feeling, to be honest here. And today we saw, for instance, the 1v1 against Ishak. He saved it even when the rebound. Obviously, I don't know why the foul was the flag went up. It wasn't an offside. Even when the rebound came in again, goal kick. He saved the rebound. He even saved the rebound again. So we saw all those, bro. Do you know that for the last 2.5-3 seasons, remember, bro, balls coming from diagonal used to cause us headache. Do you see the way he comes out to clean balls from diagonals? Even when they are low balls from diagonals, he comes in and he hugs the ball, he picks the ball. Bro, he's gonna have his bad days, but bro, there is hope. There is hope.
Someone on TikTok said that he saw him live at Old Trafford. He saw Lamens live at Old Trafford. I said that guy looks like a baby Courtois. He's shaped.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, he gives me the vibe. I was about going there. He gives me, obviously, when he was asked, he said he's goalkeeping idols, firstly Manuel Neuer and then secondly Thibaut Courtois. And to be I think he also mentioned the guy from this Peter Cech. I saw one of his interviews, when he signed for Manchester United. But the thing, to be honest, is that not only is he good with both legs, he makes save. He's a shot stopper. He's both he's a Manuel Neuer-esque kind of obviously that's a massive bar, but he gives you the shot stopping thing, yeah, and at the same time he gives you the coordination. Do you know how watch his debut at Old Trafford? He was almost not phased. He was so vocal. And that was one of the things we were giving David De Gea a stink for. He was never really vocal. He always relied on the fact that he was going to make the save, but this lad was always vocal, setting up his, calling out and shouting out. He just made his debut, a young boy, but I saw how he was having a go at everybody in his debut. Even today, he was there, commanding, cheering, pushing and urging. That's, when you hear the likes of Rio Ferdinand and Vidic talk about the Van der Sars and the Schmeichels.
Everyone said Van der Sar was not with the band. He was not wearing the captain. He was the captain.
Yeah, he was. Everyone said he was the captain of the defense. He was the captain. He told you where to stand, where to move, and how to run. And you dare not try him. You dare not try him. So, to be honest, there is hope for that. There is hope. But overall, Ahmed, I don't know if you are. Yes, we may. Obviously, Ruben has his own wrongdoing. But you see what we are talking about. Finally having a team. Having a football structure, a team from top to bottom. It's good that over the international break, Sajim came out and made the whole comment he made, about the whole 3 years thing and the support they have for Ruben. But this was what Louis van Gaal asked Manchester United to do. This was what Ralf Rangnick said Manchester United should do. And that's why I'm saying, to be honest, let's wait out this season, next season. There is hope. I can understand that this man is a very stubborn
No.
man because you and
My
I and
problem. See, I don't call out coaches for sack. I don't say okay they should sack coaches. My problem with Amorim is that he is not flexible. That's just my problem with him. People think I don't want to stay in Manchester
United. In his defense,
just be flexible.
In his defense, and even most recently,
in our last two games, he has tweaked things. I've been seeing it. He has been tweaking things. Now, last year,
I don't know, but I don't know how well most fans saw. But actually, we played the back four in our last Premier League game before the international break. We played with the back four at some point, but I don't know if people saw it. But he's very adamant at that time. But in his defense, to be honest, to be fair, rather. Even in the interview, most recent interview where he had with Owen Hargreaves by Sky Sports, where they came to Old Trafford just this concluded international break. I was watching, listening, and he said something. He said, "Look, that he has agreed with the board." And I'm talking like Omar Bereda, and they have we are going to tweak things. But what they are looking to do now is to have there is a standard they want to set in terms of fitness, and mentality and all that. And so that's why they are not, because this formation is going to challenge, a lot of things. So they are looking to build something, but then going forward, they can tweak. They can go in a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, whatever. But this is like the base of his team, where, or what I said, the base of his foundation, where if something goes wrong, everybody retires to this formation. And in this formation, we are so comfortable that we have something. It's like the Pep Guardiolas that retires back to his 4-3-3 and outpossess you and damage you from that kind of, all those. So that's more like his signature, formation. And I understand. I see what he's doing. I see the heart. I follow this team closely. I see the training sessions. I see how these boys are training. And to be honest, it gives me hope. And as much as I'm calling out for him to be flexible, particularly game management in game, being bold enough to switch from a 5 at the back to a 3 at the back to a 4 at the back, or from 2 in the middle, in the central mid to a 3 or whatever, just something to suit or to match what the opponent is actually presenting. I can actually tell you that for a very long time, I'm seeing a manager that the players in Old Trafford, in Manchester United, that the players are really, really gunning for. The players are really playing for this manager. The players really want this manager, to stay and things to work out for this manager. I'm seeing a manager who has an idea, who has a confidence. If you are listening to his post-match today, you heard what he said rightly. He said to the media guy, he said, "Look, no, don't support me now. Just stick to the narrative. Continue saying the bullshit y'all will be saying about me. I'm putting out the bullshit y'all will be putting out about me." He didn't use the word bullshit, but I'm not quoting him verbatim. But he's basically said, "Look, I don't need the cheers." It was just 19 minutes ago, we didn't stand a chance. So I want you guys to stick to the narrative and don't give us a chance. It was this is what I want. I need you guys not to believe in us. And so you can blame this guy for his arrogance and his confidence and his eloquence, being a politician, a good talker, is a poet, whatever. But I can tell you one thing: I don't think you and I, this sort of craves a win more than Ruben wants to win rather in Manchester United. I think he himself loves his job better than you and I will love the job on his behalf. So to be honest, I'm going to Brighton.
Finally, let's round up.
Yeah, going to Brighton. Going to Brighton next weekend.
Brighton.
Yeah, going to. Yeah, Brighton. Oh, okay. Oh, Maguire, man, kudos to Maguire. He came close last season. Finally, again, he has hurt. Yeah. He came this close to hurting Liverpool at Anfield. He eventually, succeeded this season. Kudos to him. I'm one of his, biggest fan. I was not, but with the way he handled all the whole, situation the last couple of years and be able to, be the player he is.
Sorry for interfering. So, the Anfield course is over. Yeah. No, the last time.
Okay, yeah, so now traveling down south to Brighton come the weekend. To be honest, Brighton is another team that can tear you apart, particularly from the middle of the park. And I know confidently that Brighton is going to play 4 in the middle of the park and try to see how they can pick us apart. They've got those players, young, energetic, good on the ball. forward playing players. So it's a different kind of challenge. And what I'll be looking out for, as much as I want for Manchester United to win, I'm actually going to be looking at the tactical application from Ruben Amorim. I'm going to be watching, first off, the lineups, obviously, and then how he places them or he positions them and what he looks to play. I'm going to see also, his ability sort of to adapt, because Brighton is going to be a challenge. I remember in the last 2 seasons now, we've really struggled, 3 seasons rather, we've really struggled against Brighton, both at Old Trafford and away from home. So it's a whole different challenge, to be honest. It's really, for me, it's even much more of a difficult game than Arsenal and even Man City, because the Brighton guys never say never. They don't stop running until the last blast of the whistle. And we saw it against Chelsea. We saw it, we've seen it last season and even the season before. And so for me, I'm hoping that Manchester United is able to, go out there, travel to Brighton and pick a result there. I hope we can get a win, but if we come out of Brighton with a draw, 1 point, for me, it's still a decent result. I know you may say, oh, Manchester United, all man team Manchester United, but we have to be realistic and honest with ourselves about like where the football club is at this point in time. So we just don't want to lose. We want to maintain or sustain sort of like a form, and continue to build up from there. We're not going to lie to ourselves. We are not that Manchester United side. So yeah,
So,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
Dan, thank you very much for joining me. See you next
Yeah,
time.
thank you, Ahmed, for having me. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your week.